first show up to Placer County, you're not only greeted with some incredible filming locations, but you begin to dive really deep into California's history.
Placer County covers a lot of different terrain. We start in the Central Valley, where it's flat, like the Midwest, and we go up into the Gold Rush country in the foothills and the Low Sierra, and as you continue east on Interstate 80, you get up to the High Sierra and Lake Tahoe. You can shoot from 90 feet to 9,000 in 90 minutes going across our county.
We start our journey in Lincoln at one of America's oldest and largest ceramic factories, Gladding McBean, which was founded in 1875, right after the Civil War, by Charles Gladding. This was easily one of my favorite locations to spotlight, not just in Placer, but in all of California.
We sit on 63 acres, and 29 acres is undercover. And just north of the plant is about 200 acres of mine. That's where we get our material from. If you're interested in ceramics for artisan purposes or for infrastructure, this is like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The history in this country is extremely deep, very rich. If you go to any major city and you look at a high-rise with terracotta on it, Gladding McBean had a part in it. If you really want to create something unique, you can create it here. We're not saying come here just to create a film or do a commercial. We want you to come here and take advantage of the fact that you can create art.
In the foothills, you have Auburn, with two historic districts. The first one is Old Town Auburn. What stood out for me were the multiple levels and incredible dimension and texture the town has. This district reflects true authenticity. In a small proximity, you have a shack constructed during the Gold Rush, and then down the street you have a Queen Anne-style firehouse. And then the courthouse sprawled up into the sky. At the other end of town is downtown Auburn, a Norman Rockwell townscape built between the 1880s and the 1940s. Today the streets are filled with restaurants and boutiques. It can easily pass for a street anywhere in Middle America.
We have a lot of high-tech companies in our county, and you wouldn't think about that. Lake Tahoe, it's snow, it's lakes, it's mountains, it's natural terrain. And a lot of them have actually spent money on their architecture, and the William Jessup University is one of those.
Located in Rockland, William Jessup University was once a Herman Miller distribution center and designed by international acclaimed architect Frank Gehry, who designed incredible spaces, including the Walt Disney Concert Hall in downtown Los Angeles. You have these perfect lines with a heavy splash of vivid color. It was stunning. The structure is unlike anything you would expect to find in this area. Moving east towards North Lake Tahoe, we tackled Iowa Hill Road, located in Iowa Hill. This was one of the most insane curvatures of road I've ever seen in real life. Driving in the car, you really feel it, but as soon as you get a bird's eye view, that visual impact is so dynamic. I would love to take this turn in a race car. We crossed over Forest Hill Bridge, California's highest. Next stop was the infamous tunnel chute on the middle fork of the American River. This is a Class 5 rapid that shoots you underground for 100 feet. The chute is not a natural structure. Miners actually diverted the river in 1860 so they can search for gold in a stretch known as Horseshoe Bar. Over 60 films and television shows have used the tunnel chute in their projects.
We're at one of the classic Tahoe homes, dates back from the 1920s, and it features an absolutely beautiful Adirondack East Coast style boathouse and pier. Featured in A Place in the Sun with Elizabeth Taylor and Montgomery Clift as an upstate New York vacation home, and it looks exactly the way it did when they shot it.
Right before we hit North Lake Tahoe, we stopped at White Wolf, a prestigious 460-acre private ski mountain in the winter, and then transformed into hiking trails, woods, and a lake in the summer. You are surrounded by the majesty of some of the state's most stunning landscapes. When you hit North Lake Tahoe, the magic really kicks into high gear. Speedboat Beach, with the rocks that look like they were just dropped in the lake from the sky. The aqua blue water goes on for miles and miles. We visited 3 restaurants along Lake Tahoe's shoreline in Placer County. Garwood's, which was super rugged and can pass for any eatery on any coast in the country. You have deer antlers hanging from the ceiling as a chandelier. Then you have West Shore Market, an intimate deli and store situated along the west shore of Lake Tahoe. Finally, we have Chambers Landing, which is this beautiful nod to the history of dining and adventure on Lake Tahoe, with a dock that sprawls out in every direction over the turquoise water.
If a production is looking for a wide variety of locations, whether it's urban, suburban, or natural terrain, if you want a 4-season location, if you want to find locations between 90 feet to over 9,000, and you can drive to all of those within 90 minutes and stay in the same county and fly in and out at either end of that county, Placer County should be your first choice.
It's really hard to put Placer County into words because it represents so much feeling and beauty. The history and diversity of this county is so profound and unique, not only to the state of California, but the rest of the country as well.